Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavati Pashatya Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranganitai Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Haribo Nitai Gaura Haribo Omatjnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakya Chakshunmidamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Name Namaste Saraswate Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavati Paschatya Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna everyone. Okay, so can I hear a big Hare Krishna from all?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh, good. No one is sleeping because today's chapter is so important chapter. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita, the contents of Gita summarized. Okay, the whole. If you understand this chapter, you understood the whole Gita. So it's like that. And this is the basics of Bhagavad Gita. The first lesson you're going to learn in this Gita Saramsha. Okay. So yesterday we saw. Okay, quick recap. So what was the 5 reasons which Arjuna gave not to fight? You can unmute. Yes.
Compassion.
Compassion.
Sin, indecision.
No enjoyment. One more.
Family tradition. Indecision.
Very good. Family tradition. Yeah. So these were the 5 reasons. Very good. Okay. So all are attentive in the class. Thanks. Okay, so these are the 5 reasons why Arjuna gave not to fight. Okay, you already answered it. Compassion, no enjoyment, sin, family traditions, and indecision. So these are the verses. Okay, now today in this chapter, Krishna is going to counteract everything. You've seen in the court, there will be argument by one lawyer and the other opposition party or the opposite lawyer, he just put counter argument, like defeating the argument. Similarly, or in a debate, there's a defeat. So similarly, Arjuna didn't want to fight because of these 5 reasons. Krishna is now going to slash everything. Like he's saying compassion, we'll see that he's saying we're not this body. No, I'll come to this. This is a summary. Okay, first I'll come to it. So there's a connection between the first chapter and second chapter. In the previous chapter, Sanjay concluded that Arjuna was not inclined to fight, and that made Dhritarashtra joyful. He was like, oh, good, Arjuna is not fighting. He was happy. But in this chapter, Sanjaya, seeing the Dhritarashtra hopeful for not losing the kingdom for his sons, began to describe how Krishna inspires Arjuna to fight. The whole Bhagavad Gita is basically to make Arjuna understand what we are. So this is all for us, not for just Arjuna. So Arjuna was asked to fight with his own guru, right? Dronacharya and grandfather Bhishma. Has anybody in the history had made sacrifices like this? Anyone knows? from Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, whatever you heard, Ramayana or anything. Did anyone make sacrifice like this? No? Someone had to sacrifice their family, or someone had to sacrifice their guru. They had to fight against, no one remembers anything. You can either put in the chat also. Parashurama, Harita Mataji says, okay, good. Anyone else? No? If you know a little bit of Bhagavatam, you'll be able to answer this. Okay, so they have done sacrifice for Krishna. Okay, some of the great personalities or great devotees have done sacrifice for Krishna. Let's see, who all are they? Yeah, Prahlad, that's a nice example. Yeah, so the father-son relation, that's Prahlad, right? Prahlad, and then the Daksha sons and Chatur Kumaras, the 4 Kumaras. So yes, Prahlad Maharaj with Hiranyakashipu. We'll come to all this later on. Then you can see the Daksha sons, okay, the 10,000 sons sacrificed, and the 4 Kumaras. Then there is also the older brother, younger brother, Ravan and Vibhishna. So Vibhishna had to let go his, Vibhishna, because let go Ravana, because Ravana was demonic and Vibhishna was a devotee. Okay, then priest, the host, that is Shukracharya. Bali Maharaj, when Vamanadev came and asked for the 3 feet of land, Shukracharya told no to do it, but Bali Maharaj rejected that because he had to do sacrifice for Krishna. For Krishna, he rejected his own guru. Then husband and wife, the ethnic Brahmana patis. When Krishna and Balram, when then asked for some food, the Brahmanas didn't give, but their wives gave. So they had to sacrifice their husband, and means they went against their words. And then family, who Bharat Maharaj, then Raghunath Das Goswami, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we'll come to that, who that is, and Lakshmana, Bharata, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada also. So all of them have sacrificed their family for Krishna. We won't be able to do so much, but at least we'll be able to sacrifice little time for Krishna. Every day, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST. So we can just sacrifice some time from our 24 hours busy schedule to Krishna. So something we can also do, right? So today's overview is, first is Arjuna's indecision, okay, that he's not able to fight. And then analysis of body and soul. We'll come to know why Arjuna is compassionate to kill the cousins, but now Krishna is going to give a counter argument. Then performing our prescribed duties, the Chaturvarnyas. Then Nishkama Karma Yoga. We'll see what Nishkama Karma Yoga is and what is the qualities of a liberated soul. Okay, so in the second chapter, 7th sloka, Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. Karpanya dosho pahada swabhava prichami tvam dharma sammoda cheta yashreyasya nishchitam brohitanme shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Yesterday I forgot to teach you the sloka. So today we'll learn yesterday's sloka and today's important sloka. Okay, 2 slokas we'll learn at 8 o'clock. Now I'm confused about my duty. I have lost all composure because of weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Shreyas means what is best for me. Now I'm a disciple and a soul surrendered to you. Please instruct me. So in first chapter, did Krishna speak or not? Put in the chat. Yes or no? Did Krishna actually speak in the first chapter? No. Why? He was waiting for Arjuna to speak. Like that's the important quality of a guru. A guru should hear first and then speak. So he was patiently hearing his disciple. Now Arjuna surrendered. So similarly, when we surrender to Krishna, when we surrender to Guru, then we'll be able to understand Krishna. See, when I went to do a medical college, I could not get a degree just like that and practice. No, I had to go undergo the training. I had to submit to my teachers in every year and then do my internship or house agency. Then I'll get a certificate. Then I could practice in a hospital. I was not able to just purchase a medical book from a library and sit and read and get my degree. No, similarly, you can't just purchase Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam from the market and read yourself and understand the philosophy. No, for a material degree, for a material knowledge, you need a guru. Similarly, for a spiritual thing, you'll definitely need a guru. Okay, so that's why it's very important to have a guru in our life. So now Arjuna accepted Krishna as a guru. So it is in our life, sometimes we have to surrender to Krishna. Like sometimes we also don't know what to do in life. Then if it is not under our control, we have to go to a higher authority. Now Arjuna says that I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you what is best for me. Okay, so how can we surrender to Krishna when problems comes in our life, right? So we should take advice from the scriptures. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. We should take advice from the Guru. Sadhus means devotees, and Shastras. So you can see Gajendra, how he surrendered to Krishna. Now, you know the story. Gajendra was bitten by a crocodile. He was an elephant, and then he was bitten by a crocodile. These are all Bhagavatam stories. Okay. Later on, I'll explain this. And then he gave one lotus flower to the Lord and sang beautiful Gajendra Stuti. Namo namaste akhila karanaya nishkaranaya adbhuta karanaya. Very nice slokas from Bhagavatam 6th canto. And then the Lord appeared. Okay. This is Sharanagati. He surrendered completely. Lord Brahma did a silly Leela that's called Brahma Vimohan Leela, where Brahma captured Krishna's boyfriends and cows and kept hidden for 1 year. And later on, the Lord expanded as his friends and cows. And when Brahma saw this, he was bewildered. It was Krishna himself, because he thought a boy in Vrindavan eating curd and rice, how can he be the Lord? But then Brahma surrendered. So, and also you can see Prahlad, how he surrendered to Narasimhadev. Right, when Lord Narasimhadev appeared to kill Hiranyakashipu, and also how Hanuman in Dasi Bhav surrendered to Lord Ram. So surrender is a great big term, but then let's see how we can surrender to the Lord. So how does Lord Krishna show us how to become a good teacher? Now you saw in the first chapter, Krishna never spoke, right? That is one quality. He is showing that how to become a good teacher. Tam uvaja rishikesha prahassan iva bharata senayorubayor madhye vishidantam idam vaja. What is the meaning of rishikesha? Yesterday we discussed. There were 9 reasons for Arjuna to win. In that, the most important reason was rishikesha. That is Krishna. But what is the real meaning of rishikesha? Yes, Priyanka Mataji.
Rishikesha means the Lord of senses.
Very good. The Lord or the Master of senses. Very nice. So why is Krishna called Rishikesha here? Because Krishna is trying to control Arjuna's senses also. Master of senses, right? O descendant of Bharata. At that time, Krishna, smiling in the midst of both armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Okay, Krishna is the best teacher because he was not scolding. Why was Krishna smiling? I mentioned it yesterday. You remember? You can unmute. Why was Krishna smiling after hearing this? Chaitali Mataji. Yes?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah, Krishna was smiling because Arjuna surrendered him as a disciple.
Okay. Yeah, that is one thing. He surrendered. Anything else? Some other points? Yesterday I was saying. Yes, Priyanka Mataji.
Krishna was smiling because he made all this thing happen. It was a yogmaya of Krishna itself that Arjuna would be perplexed, and then Arjuna would ask these questions. So only he can give the Bhagavad Gita, the jewel in the battlefield Dharamkshetra of Mahabharata.
Very good. Yes, and I also got in the chat, Sushmita Mataji. Yes, because his plan is working. Krishna's plan is working. This Krishna wanted to instruct Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and now Krishna's Yoga Maya. There are 2 things: Mahamaya and Yoga Maya. Mahamaya is someone that's a material nature. We'll see the 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo guna, who's controlling the material nature. She's Durga Devi. She's controlling the material nature. That's Mahamaya. That is also Krishna's energy, external energy. Krishna also have Yoga Maya, which is a sweet type of Maya, who it's only for devotees. They cover, Yoga Maya covers. Now, when Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill in Vrindavan at the age of 7, everybody was like, oh, Krishna is God. But then they forgot Krishna is God, and the Yoga Maya covered. Similarly, Krishna's Yoga Maya covered Arjuna. So Arjuna started lamenting. And now Krishna's plan is working. That he wanted to speak Bhagavad Gita and it is working. So Krishna smiled. So one of the quality of a teacher is not scolding, but always smiling. Ashochayan anvashochans tvam pratnyavadam shabhashase gadasun agadasumscha nana shochanti panditaha. The blessed Lord said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise neither lament for the living nor the dead. This is Krishna's another quality, right? Bend, not break. No, he is not scolding directly. He is trying to instruct through in a very nice way. So now You can see here two people. One person is dead here and the other person doesn't have a leg. Now here Krishna says, there is no use of lamenting or feeling bad for the living or the dead. Why does Krishna has to say this? Can someone guess? I mean, those who are wise neither lament for the living nor the dead. Why we should not lament when a person is dead? What is happening at the time of death? Ruchi Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
So at the time of death, just the soul is changing the body, and in real we are eternal. So
yes. So that means we are not this body, right? There is a soul. A soul is neither born nor dead. Yes, Chaitali Mataji. Oh, you all are expert, huh? In this class. I don't have to take a class. All are good. Yeah, soul is not hurt. A soul cannot be cut. We are not this body. That's what the first basic lesson of Bhagavad Gita is, right? Arjuna is lamenting, Arey, how will I kill my cousins? How will I kill my teachers? But now Krishna is cutting his first sentence by the argument that we are not this body. We are spirit soul. No, when I was young, like my grandmother passed away. And then I was asking my mother, what happened? All are crying and what is happening? She's like, my grandmother's gone. Like, where did she go? She's there lying in the hall. I mean, I could see her body. I could see I was young and I could not, because we identified the person as this body. Now, my grandmother was that body, but actually she's that soul, that spirit soul, and the soul left. No, so can you just keep looking at something which is non-moving like a fan, which is still? No, but the fan is rotating. You look, or a doll is kept with some clothes around in a shop, in a textile shop. You won't look at it for a long time. But in the same place, if a Mataji, if a female is standing, we look, because the spark is coming from the spirit soul. And growth, moving, breathing, all these emotions are all the presence of soul. Some people doesn't believe in soul. They think this is just the body. But let me ask you, why are some children born deaf? Some children born with cancer? Now we'll see why. Okay, so Lord Krishna is the best teacher because of these 7 qualities. He listens. In whole chapter 1, he was listening, being silent. That is first quality of a teacher. Gives knowledge of Gita only when Arjuna is ready and surrenders. Now, only when Arjuna is ready and surrendered, Krishna gave the knowledge. There's a sweet pastime where Chitraketu Maharaj, he lost his son. That time Narad Muni came and instructed him transcendental knowledge. So when a disciple is ready, you all are ready now. You have come for Bhagavad Gita class to understand. Now you have surrendered. So the knowledge of Gita can be told. And he smiles, no anger at Arjuna. He didn't scold Arjuna. Arjuna, what are you saying? You're a Kshatriya, fight. No, he didn't scold. He was smiling. Bend but not break, right? You can't have, you destroy that person, but you need to make them understand. And answer all the questions in short immediately. In the second chapter, almost all the questions are answered. Keep encouraging Arjuna. In every chapter, Krishna is like, fight, fight, fight. He kept on encouraging and gave Arjuna a choice. Do as you like. He's like, what do you like? After 18 chapters, Krishna instructed the whole Bhagavad Gita, and at the last he says, whatever you like, you do, Arjuna. So Krishna didn't force. Okay, that's a good teacher. Whenever Lord Krishna speaks, Bhagavad Gita says Sri Bhagavan Vacha, not Krishna Vacha. Why? Can you put in the Zoom chat? You saw Arjuna Vacha, Dhritarashtra Vacha. No? Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, you won't see Krishna Vacha. You'll see Bhagavan Vacha. Why? Because Krishna is Bhagavan? Great answer. Right answer, Pankaj Prabhu. Yes. He's Bhagavan himself. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Good. That's why Srila Prabhupada named it as International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He could have named it as International Society for God Consciousness, right? No. So Prabhupada's like, I want to say to the Westerners and everyone at one shot that Krishna is God. If I didn't know who God is, if I didn't know his name, you might say, oh, our teacher is, we have a teacher in Bhagavad Gita. If you don't know my name. If you know my name, you'll tell, oh, Aisvarya Mataji is our teacher. So you're more specific. Similarly, Prabhupada's like, I know who God is. I know his pastimes. So at one shot, I want people to understand that Krishna is God. And that's why it is named as International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Yes. Bhagavan means there are 6 opulences for the Lord. Okay. Shadaishwarya Purnam. We'll see what are the 6 opulences. So this is how you understand the absolute truth. First is first when you go from, okay. So you can unmute, okay, and answer. Now you are, what are you seeing now on the screen? What is this? Can someone understand what this is?
A ray of light.
Okay, some light is coming there, and these are the clouds, and there's some mountains, right? There's some mountain you can see here on the sides. Yes. So this is what you see from far. Okay. So from far, just imagine you're on a hilltop in a hill station, and you get out of your car and you see some light coming, and there's something vague. Everything is so vague, just a mountain. But you go a little more close. What can you see?
A green tree.
Yeah, green tree. And you went some more close, and then what do you see?
Leaves and fruits.
A parrot sitting on a branch of a tree.
Yeah, a green parrot eating a fruit or something, and then on the branch. So it's more clear. Similarly, Lord is also understood in 3 different ways. First is the Brahman, the light, the effulgence that's coming from the Lord's body. The effulgence of Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavanedi, Shakti. Brahman is the light of the effulgence. Some people say God doesn't have a form. That's impersonalists or Mayavadis. They say God doesn't have a form. Yes, God doesn't have a form. In the sense, God doesn't have a material form. Our body is made up of Panchabhutas: earth, water, fire, air, ether. At the end, it has to be destroyed. Either we are buried on the earth, or we are burned, or whatever it is. Somehow it's destroyed, the body, because it's material. But Krishna's body is transcendental. He's Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Brahma Samhita says Krishna is Satchidananda. He's eternal, ever existing, and he is full of knowledge and bliss. So first we'll understand the Brahman aspect of the Lord. That's the impersonal form of the Lord. Then you see the localized form of the Lord. That is, the Lord is in our heart as Paramatma, the 4-handed form. Okay, the 4-handed form is the Paramatma, the super soul. So we have our soul inside, the Jiva, and the super soul, who is Krishna. And the last and the final, the topmost understanding is Bhagavan. So Brahman is the impersonal form, then Paramatma is the localized form, and Bhagavan is the personal form. So God is also a person, supreme personality of Godhead, but he's not a person like us. He's transcendental. He's above the 3 modes. So Bhagavan, why Krishna is called Bhagavan? Anyone knows? Okay, he's Bhagavan, but why? You can unmute. Why do we say Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam? Ede chamsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vaikulam Loke Mritayanti Yuke. Bhagavatam explains Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Why?
Because he is the supreme personality, Mataji.
Yeah, supreme personality. And Ramchandra Prabhu gives a nice answer. Yes, he has full wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. Yes, super. These are the 6 qualities. Yes, Prabhu is right. Yes, he is the supreme personality, but I'm asking why. So Bhagavan means someone who have all these 6 qualities, 100 out of 100. Like someone in this material world might be wealthy, but he may not be so knowledgeable. Someone will be the Miss World or Miss Universe, but they may not be rich. But Krishna is having all these qualities full and full. He's the most wealthiest person. Why? Lakshmi Sahasrashada Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Thousands of Lakshmis are serving Krishna. Who's more wealthier than this? So he's the most wealthiest. Strength. At the age of 7, Krishna could lift the Govardhan hill, which is so huge, in his left hand pinky finger for 7 days and 7 nights. Who's more stronger than him? Fame. After 5,000 years, we are still discussing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita told by Krishna. Why? Because it's the most famous. Who can be more famous like him? Beauty. Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Thousands of cupids get attracted to the beauty of Krishna. Who's more beautiful than it? Knowledge. Vedaisha Sarve Rahameva Vedyam Vedanta Krit Veda Videva Chaham. Krishna is the compiler of Vedas. All the Vedas and everything has been compiled by Vyasadev, who's Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, who's Krishna himself. So he's the best knowledgeable person. Renunciation, Narayan Rishis, and Krishna also is aloof from everything. Even though he creates and everything, he is aloof. So he's the best renunciant. So all 6 qualities are in full with Krishna. That's why he's called Bhagavan. So there are 3 aspects to understand absolute truth: Brahman, the light; Paramatma, the localized form; and Bhagavan. So sometimes long back, I went to a place where they told me to meditate on the light. No, they're like, this is God. Some people say God is light, God is love, God is energy. No, God is a person. Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, that is what Bhagavad Gita is trying to make you understand. So first level of understanding, the lower level is Brahman. Like for example, you have 1,000 rupees. So do you have 500 rupees with you? Yes, because you have 1,000, in that 500 is also included. Do you have 50 rupees with you? Yes, in 1,050 is also there. Similarly, if you know Bhagavan, then Paramatma and Brahman aspect is also understood. Okay, so these are the three ways. Now, this is the first lesson of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is answering to Arjuna's question. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yaupanam jara tada dehandara praptir dhiras tatra namuhyati. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes to another body at the time of death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. Now, can you see this? When you buy the Bhagavad Gita set, you'll get a book called Science of Self-Realization. And this picture has been beautifully explained in that book. You can see we are all being born, like from our mother's womb. And did we have this body at that time? No, we were small, we were young, small. So as we grew, what happened? Our body changed, right? We became like boyhood, youth, then adult, then old age. Our body is changing. But what about the soul? It's the same, right? Couldn't you remember what some things which happened in your childhood days? Not everything, because our memory is not so good, but still some of the things you remember. Why? You are the same person, the same soul. The body might change, external things are changing, right? So the soul is getting transferred from a baby's body to the youth and adult and the old age. Similarly, at the time of so-called death, what happens? The soul leaves your old body, goes to another body. Just a transmigration, like you change your dress. So that's it. So this body is external. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, your cousins and all are not this external body. They are the soul. So we have our gross body, which is made up of Panchabhutas. What are they? What are the Panchabhutas I was saying? You can unmute. The five elements.
Agni,
earth, fire,
yes.
Earth, water,
Yes.
fire, ether.
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, is Vayu, Agni, Jala, all that. Okay, these are the Panchabhutas. Now we have the soul, which is Satchidananda inside. Now, between the material gross body and the soul, there is something called subtle body, which is mind, intelligence, and false ego. Okay, so these are our real body. Like I have a shirt and I have an overcoat, or I have a t-shirt and I have an overcoat. So the body is that the soul inside, then the t-shirt is like the subtle body, and the coat is the gross body. Okay, so actually here it says dehinasmin yada dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehamdara praptir dhiras tatra namuhyadri. Dehandara prapti, that means after death the soul is going from one body to another. So Arjuna, why are you lamenting? No need of compassion or no need to lament, because they are not this body, they are spirit soul. And this is the quality of the spirit soul Krishna is explaining. Nainam chindati shastrani, nainam dahadi pavaka. Oh, did I miss that? Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chainam kleda yandyapo, na shoshayadi maruta. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor can it be burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the winds. These are the properties of the soul. Now Arjuna has a Gandiva bow. He's going to shoot his cousins. Now Krishna is saying a soul cannot be cut by any weapon. So what are you trying to do, Arjuna? So you don't have to worry. These are the properties of the soul. Can we see the soul? What is the size of the soul? Can someone put in the chat? Can we actually see the soul? What is the size? No idea? We can't see, yes, but what is the size? Because we can't see the microorganisms. We need a microscope. We can't see the stars in the sky in close. We need a fraction of tip of 1 by 10,000, the tip of, almost correct. 1 by 10,000, the tip of the hair. Very good. 1 by 10,000, the tip of the end of a hair. Just take one hair. I mean, if Matajis can do, men can't do it. So you take one hair and then just see towards the end, you cut it to 10,000 pieces. I mean, first of all, the end is so small. And then you cut the end to 10,000 pieces. 1 by 10,000, the fraction of that piece is the size of the soul. Kesha grashata. agrashata. So it's just so minute that we are not able to see. So in our body, we have the soul, that's the Jivatma. And we also have Paramatma, or the super soul, that's Krishna. And where's the soul situated? Where's the soul situated? In our body. So we have the soul, and we are spirit soul, you understand? Because at the time, yes, heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtam. Like Ishvara sarva bhutanam hridesha Arjuna tishtati. What happens at the time of heart transplantation then? Where does the soul go? Okay, now keep thinking this. Okay, I'll discuss at the end of the class. What happens at the time of heart transplantation? Okay, now Hato. Now, how can the soul remain in the same place, Ruchi Mataji? Heart is getting transplanted. You're taking your heart out and you're putting another new heart. Okay. Hato va prapshyasi swargam jitva va bokshase mahim tasmat uttishta kaundeya yuddhaya krita nishchayaha. So that is there in that book called Science of Self-Realization by Srila Prabhupada. In that book, there's a conversation with the heart surgeon. And it's beautifully explained. Just remind me, okay, to tell that answer towards the end of the class. I might forget. O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Now, this is the answer for the second question. Second reason, Arjuna is saying, no enjoyment, Krishna. I can't enjoy. No, like after winning the Hastinapur kingdom, I have to enjoy with my cousins. Now I can't enjoy. Now Krishna is saying there are two things can happen in the battlefield. Either Arjuna can win or Arjuna can lose, right? Win or lose. That's the only thing can happen. If Arjuna lose, what will happen? All the Pandavas are dead. Now, since they are pious, they were in the side of Dharma, they'll go to heavenly planets, Swargalok. And you'll enjoy in Swargalok. There is Apsaras and Gandharvas and so much of fun in heavenly planets. In the 4th chapter, I'll be explaining you the 14 planetary system. I'll show the Gologa chart. Please remind me, admins. I'll show you where the earth is, where the heavenly planets is. Some people think there is no heaven or hell. No, there is. There are heavenly planets, Swargalok, and there are hellish planets also. And we'll see what are the 14 planetary system and where are we. So if Arjuna dies, all the Pandavas, their soul will go to heavenly planets. They'll enjoy there. If Arjuna wins, then he can enjoy on the earthly kingdom. He'll become the king, or Yudhishthira will become the king. So second argument is gone. So therefore, get up and fight with determination. Okay, so this is what Krishna is saying. Arjuna, either you lose, that means you're defeated, you die, and all of you will go to heavenly planets and enjoy. Okay, or if you win, then what happens? You become the king of this earthly planet. So both way you're enjoying. Avachyan vadam shabahum vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantas tava samarthayan tato dukkataram nukim. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you, right? So Arjuna now is saying, Krishna is saying, don't be like this. You're a Kshatriya. And people will say that, look, Arjuna, being a great Kshatriya, he ran off from the battlefield. No, for a Kshatriya, to die in the battlefield is more glorious than running off, right? So let me ask you this question. There is a Kshatriyas have to do fighting. So there is no sin incurred there. So how? I'll give you an example. There is a army person, okay? And he's in the army dress. He kills the terrorist. What will happen? How will we reward him? If
We'll glorify him for his duty.
Yeah, we glorify. Might be give some award or something. Yes, same person came home for the vacation and he killed his own brother. Then what will happen?
That is sinful, because there was like a personal problem related, and this is for the complete world, or we can say it is for the country being.
Yes. So this is the difference when Kshatriyas fight in the battlefield. If Arjuna don't attack the Kauravas, now what will happen? Who all have come to support Arjuna in the battlefield, Tyakta Jivida, they all will be killed and all will be. So for a Kshatriya or for an army person, if he didn't kill the terrorist is going to attack and everyone is going to die, right? It's for the country. As Mataji said, that's his dharma. There is something called dharma, and which Kshatriya had to follow. So that's what Arjuna did. Okay, so Arjuna have to do it. So Krishna is like, you have to do it. And as you can see in this sloka, Krishna says, Neha vikramanasasti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayade mahadobaya. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. A little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. What is happening in this picture? Who is this and what is he doing?
This is Hanumanji, and this is, he have lit the fire in the complete Lanka with his tail.
Yeah. So he is doing the service to the Lord, right? Even though his tail is on fire, still he went to Lanka and destroyed the whole Lanka. That means he was serving Lord Ram. So it is said, any service you do in this path, it's never a loss. Salpamapyasya dharmasya trayade mahadopayat. I can't, if I'm dead, my soul, if I take birth in a new body, I can't go to a medical college and say, I have done my degree in my last janma, give my certificate, let me work. No, I have to start from LKG, A for apple, and then I have to go, right? All of us. That's how this material degree is. The moment we are dead, everything is gone. Your soul can't even take 1 rupee with you. Whatever we have earned and kept for ourselves, so a lot of earnings and everything, nothing we're going to take. But we'll take one thing with us. That's a devotional service. Did you chant the holy name of the Lord? Did you do some kind of devotional service to the Lord? The punya, the karma, we'll take it, right? The punya, yeah, the karma. And even the sin, not only punya, papa also will take to suffer in the next life. Punya, papa, all the karma will take to the next life. So whatever small punya you do or good things you do, salpamapyasya dharmasya trayade mahadopayat, it will save you from great dangers in your next life. So that's why doing devotional service or doing bhakti as devotional service is so important, right? So, but material things, we have to start from again. If you did 20% bhakti in this life, from next life, you have to start from 21%. Did you see some children chanting slokas of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam? They're taking nice lectures. They play mridangas and kartas and do nice kirtans. How is it possible for a small child to do? Right? The mind, intelligence, and false ego is coming from the previous life. Yavanartha udapane sarvata sampluto Togdage, Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu, Brahmanasya Vijanataha. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purpose of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Okay. So first we should know why we are studying Vedas, why we are studying Bhagavad Gita, why we are studying Bhagavatam. Vedaisha sarver ahameva vedyo. Krishna says, all are studying Vedas to understand me or understand Krishna, who's God, who's the Supreme Lord. No, so you can see some children are born in devotee family. When young itself, they start hearing the Mahamantras, they start living in a Vaishnava culture way. That's because they have done some devotional service in their previous life, punya. What are the things? It's a proof that you have done some punya in your previous life. Anyone knows? What is the proof? You done some punya. And how do we know?
See, the life begins with hurdles. If we have done some punyas, the obstacles what we are facing in the lives becomes very easy for us. The path becomes easy, and we can attain the blessings of Lord very easily. We live a very easy life. We do not have to struggle much for getting some very basic needs and facilities. I feel as if Krishna has blessed us with all this thing.
Very good. Very nice understanding. Yes. So if you're born in a rich family, if you are educated, if you are beautiful or handsome, and if you don't have disease, and all these are qualities of that you have done some punya in your previous life. But if you are born with some disease, or if you are ugly, if you're illiterate, you're poor, that's the reason. That's because we have done some papa in our previous life. It said, Purva Janma Kritam Papam Vyadi Rupena Jayate. Imagine 5 children are born in a hospital. All the 5s have different life. One will be the richest person's son. One will be a beggar's son. One will be born deaf or blind. One will be born with cancer. So that's because Purva Janma Kritam Papam. If we have done some papa in sinful life in our previous life, Vyadi Rupena Jayate, that will come as disease. So we should know that's a karma binding us. But why? If we are not the spirit soul, then why? How many lives did we have? 84 lakh species of life. Okay, 84 lakhs. This is not our first life. There is no Sat Janma or something like that, 7 life. No, 84 lakh species. My soul was in the body of a tree. My soul was in the body of a crocodile or a monkey. And finally, I got a human form of life, which is very special and rare. Why? Right? Durlabham manava janmam. It's very rare to get a human form of life. Why? There are 84 lakh species of life. In that, Chatur Lakshani manava. There is only 4 lakhs human species based on your consciousness. And in that consciousness, we have come to the consciousness that there is God and not this body. I'm spirit soul. We are so fortunate. We are so fortunate, right? The verses, which verse? This verse. Oh, this verse is all purpose are small, served by a small well. That means it can be served with a great reservoir of water, right? So if we did little service, then it will help us to overcome all the obstacles in life. And here, the purpose of Vedas is to understand Krishna. Okay, not like we have to study all the Vedas, Yajurveda, Samaveda, all that, and then we don't understand what is the goal of Vedas, then what is the use. Once, when Srila Prabhupada started this movement, there were a lot of obstacles. People came to challenge him. So the Chaturvedis, they learned all the Vedas and they came and they were arguing with Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was like, just tell me one thing. What is the conclusion of the Vedas? I mean, what did you come to know out of the Vedas, or who is God? And they told so many explanation and slokas. Prabhupada didn't understand anything. So Prabhupada called a 5-year-old child who was in the movement and asked, who is God? And Saraswati, she said, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada laughed and said, the small girl can understand the purpose of Vedas. You are not able to understand, right? So one Bhagavad Gita is enough to understand who Lord is. Yavasayatmika buddhir ege he kurunandana bahushakya hi anantascha buddhayo avavasyahin niyam. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved son of Kuru, the intelligence of those who are irresolute are many branches. So this is Dronacharya training Arjuna, right? So Arjuna could, when Arjuna was about to put the bow and arrow, what did he see on the tree? Anyone remembers? Like all the Pandavas, Kauravas, all were asked to shoot the bird, right? But what did Arjuna see? Yeah, Chaitanya Mataji, just the eyes, right? Yes, eye. Yes. So why? He's so focused. So those who are in this path of devotional service, they'll be so focused. Their aim is Krishna. Their aim is liberation, to go back to the Lord. Karmani evadikaraste ma phaleshu kadashana ma karma phala heturpur mate sango astva akarmani. So he's saying that ma phaleshu kadashana, that means Krishna is the fruit giving father. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty. Arjuna, you fight, but you're not entitled to the fruits of action. Don't think what's going to happen at the end of the battle. Why? Because Krishna will give the fruit. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty. So we should do our karma, do your best, God will do the rest. Rest, Krishna will take care, right? So, ma phaleshu kadashana, Krishna is saying, Arjuna, you fight. Don't think who's going to win or lose. Just forget it. You try to do your duty. Shri Bhagavan Vaja, Prachahati yata kaman, sarva partamano gadan, Atmani evatmana tushta sthita prajnas tadochyate. Now we'll see what are the qualities of a liberated soul. Anyone knows who this is? Who's the small boy being attacked by the demons? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of sense desire which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. Okay, so that is a pure devotee. Yes, Ishan Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prahalada.
Yes, very good. Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, he's a great devotee. And Prahlad, because he's a devotee, his father Hiranyakashipu tried to kill him. And all the demons attacked him. But nothing happened to him. He was chanting the Lord's holy name, right? So that's a quality of a self-realized person. Yeah, he was even put into fire. He was made to sit in the lap of Holika. Nothing happened to him, right? So that's what it is said, that when a man gives up all varieties of sense desire, then he is fixed in the Lord. Srila Prabhupada was also like that. Before going to America, Prabhupada for 10 years was in Vrindavan, and in Radha Damodar temple he stayed, and he was through the window, he was looking Rupa Goswami Samadhi, whose disappearance days today. He is our Acharya, Rupa Goswami. We are called Rupa Anukas. We follow him, and Prabhupada took a lot of mercy from them. And Prabhupada was so self-realized that nothing external things affected him. Okay, how can a supposedly harmless contemplation turn into an insatiable lust and anger and cause one's fall down? We'll see how lust is coming, how anger is coming. Krishna explains in this second chapter. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangas teshu bhajayate sangat sanjayate kamo kamat krodhapi jayate. Well, there are the 8 steps of fall down. We'll see 8 steps. First is contemplating on the objects of senses. A person develops attachment to them, and such attachment, there's lust. Lust becomes anger. So just imagine I want an iPhone. So first I'm just keep thinking about it, contemplating on the object. Then there is attachment. I want the iPhone. I want the iPhone. Then I have lust. I mean, I have that desire to have the phone. And then if the lust is not fulfilled, I'm not getting the phone, I become angry. So the anger arises from that. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammoha smriti vibraha, smriti bramshat buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranashyati. Now, so first is contemplation on the object, then there is attachment, then there is lust. Unfulfilled lust will go to anger. Once you're angry, what will happen? From anger, there's complete delusion. Like you're so confused, and then delusion is bewilderment of memory. And when memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, buddhinasho. And when intelligence is lost, one fall down again into the material pool. So these are the 8 steps of fall down. Okay, first is contemplating on object, then you become attached to it, you have lust, then unfulfilled lust, there is anger, and anger there is delusion, then bewilderment of memory, the intelligence is lost, and then falls down. Okay, so these are the 8 steps of fall down. So first there is object of senses, like for a phone or something, then you become attached to it. Then there is lust, there is greed, you need more want. But then if it is not satisfied, then you become angry, right? Then there is delusion, there is bewilderment of memory, and loss of intelligence, and fall down. So these are the 8 steps to be very careful. Krishna explains that there is a fall down when you undergo these. So in today's chapter, we actually learned we are not this body. That's the first lesson of Bhagavad Gita. We are spirit soul, right? So when a so-called death happens to us, we are not actually dying. It's actually a soul leaves this body, goes to another body. For example, I have a car. Okay, so when I was young, when we are very young, we'll be given a tricycle to ride. Then as we grow up, we get a bicycle. Then in college, we might have a two-wheeler, scooty. And then when we are older, we'll have a car. No, so our external thing is changing, or the vehicle is changing, but the driver who's driving is the same. Similarly, the soul is the same, the external body is changing. Now, at the time of death, what happens? Yes, so at the time of death, we change this body, goes to another body. How? Like my car is broken down and my car is not to be used anymore. Then I buy a new car. So I, as a driver, is just changing from the driver seat of this car to that car. So what am I doing? Or if your dress is spoiled, okay, you come from work, you're stinking and you have dirt in your dress. What do? You take bath and you put new dress. Vasam sujirnani yata vihaya navani grihnadi navo uparani tata shararani navani jirnani anyani samyadi navavidehi. So it is said that as we give up old dress and put new fresh dress, similarly the soul gives up this old body, takes new body. Imagine I'm becoming old, my organs are not working, and then I'm not able to sustain life here. Then the soul leaves this old body, takes new body. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, why are you lamenting killing Bhishma and Dronacharya? They are already old now. They have to leave one day. Mrityu sarva haras jaham. Death will take everything from us. We all have to leave. Birth, death, old age, disease, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha, dosha, and darshanam. These are the 4 problems in our life, the real problems. The real problem is not we don't have money or food or anything. The real problem that can be solved, but the real problem which cannot be solved is birth, death, old age, and disease. Okay, I can understand old age is a problem. You have joint pain, that, this, and all. Death is also a problem. We lament when people die. That's a problem. Disease is also definitely a problem. But how birth is a problem? I mean, actually we celebrate, no? When someone is born in the family, like happy birthday, and we celebrate. Can someone unmute and say, how is birth a problem?
Because when we are in the mother womb, we are in a dark place, and when we come out, there is so much pain out of it.
Very good. Yes. So Bhagavatam explains, the Kapila Dev explains to his mother Devahuti that when the baby is upside down in mother's womb, actually for 9 months, it's a suffering. The baby is kicking the mother. The mother thinks, oh, I have baby kicks and she's happy. No, the baby is actually struggling. We'll see. There is something called birth and death video, right? Co-host, is any video there today to be played? There's something called birth and death. Can someone play that after the class? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Pradosh Prabhu.
Yes,
Welcome.
Mataji.
Yeah, just play the birth and death. Might be after Pradosh Prabhu explains the quiz. Hare Krishna. Welcome,
Yes.
Pradosh Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So, Hare Krishna. Just 2 minutes. So, what was I saying? Yeah. But how is birth a problem? Yes. So, it is said one scorpion, if it bites you, you feel so much pain. So, inside the mother's womb, it's like thousands and hundreds of scorpions are biting you. So much of pain. The baby is standing upside down, and there's so much of pressure, and there's so much pain actually in the mother's womb. And it's born. Birth is definitely a problem. And then, based on the karma, the child is born and to different parents, and again he's captured in Maya. But actually, Kapila Dev says the baby actually sees God. Actually, we all have seen God, we forgot, or we have heard him, and we prayed to the Lord in the mother's womb. Krishna, I have got this human form of life after so many janmas. I promise you, in this janma, whatever karma I have to undergo, I promise you, I'm going to be a devotee. I'll chant your name and I'll do devotional service. But the moment we are born, we are gone. We are in Maya. So that's why it's very important to stay focused. So here Krishna gives the arguments. So first was Arjuna saying that compassion. Now Krishna said, we are not this body. The cousins which you see, they're not that body. They actually spirit soul, and spirit soul cannot be destroyed. So don't worry, Arjuna, fight. Then Arjuna said, no enjoyment, I can't enjoy. So Krishna said, if you win, you're going to get the kingdom. That's enjoyment. If you lose, you're going to die, but your soul will go to heaven. That is also enjoyment. So that argument is also gone. Next is fear of sinful activities. Krishna says devotional activity have no sin. Like an army person killing the terrorist, it's no sin. Similarly, as a Kshatriya, since he's doing it for Krishna, then there's no sin. And destruction of family tradition, Krishna says, be a role model to prevent Varna Shankara. Varna Shankara means mixing of population. Don't do that. Be a role model. If you run off, everyone are going to run off. And indecision, Krishna says, serve the Lord with firm determination, like how Hanuman served with the tail. Similarly, don't have indecision. You should have firm determination. Don't think about the result. Krishna will take care. Okay, so I need to have teach the sloka, but might be after the quiz demonstration by Pradosh Prabhu. So he is our technical expert, and he's the one who actually designed the quizzes for a long time. And welcome, Pradosh Prabhu. So Prabhu will be explaining you can share the screen and how to enroll yourself, how to some Mataji couldn't do the quiz, na? Harshita, someone. So please see clearly how to do it. Only after you do the quiz, you'll be getting the certificate. So that's why it's very important to do the quiz. And it's going to be easy, objective types. Okay. Yes, Prabhu, over to you. Can you start? You want some time?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you,
Okay.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Dear devotees, Hare Krishna. Today we'll discuss about the quiz thing. Any volunteer who has not registered so far, if you want to share your email ID, we will do it right now on real-time basis. Otherwise, I will do the demo trial with my ID, how to do the registration. Okay, Pankaj Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna
Hello.
Prabhuji.
Harita Madachi also didn't do. Even Pankaj Prabhu didn't do.
No, not yet.
Okay. So anyone, Pankaj, anyone can do.
Okay, Prabhuji, can you please share me on a direct chat message your email ID so that we'll do the
Yes,
registration.
I'm sharing.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Meanwhile, all the devotees, please, I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, whatever the link we'll receive, here also we'll share the registration link in the chat, and you might have received in the WhatsApp chat also. So, you need to click there. Prabhuji has shared the email ID. Then, when we click on the link, we'll be on this page. This is our home page of ISKCON Nantur, Mangalore, our temple's website. We need to click on the login page. Here the login is there. Login. Then here it will come as user ID, password, then remember me, login, forgot password. Beneath of that, it is mentioned new user register. So those devotees who are for the first time doing this, we need to click on the register here. After clicking there, a page will come, registration form page. We need to put our name. I'm just putting Pankaj Prabhuji's detail here. First name is Pankaj. Last name is username. Normally we recommend let's put the email ID as the username so that it will be easy for us to remember and proceed. Pankaj Prabhu, you please also check whether I am putting your email ID correctly. Okay. Email ID I need to put. Pankaj Prabhuji, this email ID is correct, right? Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, his email ID is correct. Surname spelling CHAWDA. One extra A is there after W.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is your last name, right? Okay.
Yes.
We need to click on the I am not a robot.
Okay.
We need to click on the allow so that on the email also we'll get our registration email ID and password details. Then here we need to click on the register. It will show the account, whatever the email ID we have given up Pankaj Prabhuji, it's mentioning has successfully created. Now we go to again login. Then here we need to put the user name what we have created and the password what we have given for this. This is an additional registration process. Whatever the registration we have already done, that's why we have got added to a WhatsApp group, and in that group we got the class link, Zoom link. That's why we are there in the class of Mataji, Aisvarya Mataji, and we are attending the same. In addition to that, this is an additional registration process so that we can do the quiz chapter wise, and at the end of the same we'll show what is the certificate and all things. So this is an additional process, and the email ID what we will use, the password we need to give. This is not the email password. This is the password we need to create and give for this website for the quiz thing. Normally we call for the quiz process, we call it as LMS, Learning Management System. Then we put our username and password. You just may click on the remember me, but I am not clicking here. After that, we can click on the login page. So right now, see, this is the page. You are currently logged in as whatever the email ID we have given. Then it is showing go to my account and select course. We need to click on the select course. Here we need to scroll down a little bit and we need to see where we are right now. This is the kids 11 to 16. This is Understand Gita. Here we are. And we are in which language? English language. So we need to click here, enroll. It will show not enroll, current status, price is free, get started, take this course. We need to click here, take this course. Okay. Now it will show 0% complete because we have not completed anything. Now we'll do day 1 quiz or 0-day quiz as the devotee or Harsali Mataji you normally say. So we'll do that. I hope all the devotees, can you please take some time? It will take hardly 2 minutes maximum to do the registration. Can you please do the registration? If any devotee facing any issue on real-time basis, we will resolve that. Whatever the issue may be, email ID related, password related. So this is the process, very simple process, but we need to focus on the steps. Pankaj Prabhuji, this is clear. Any Mataji who are doing for the first time, can you please raise hand? Okay. Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, sir. I could follow it, what you have said. I finished my registration.
Great. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
We'll do the maybe day 0 quiz all together. So please be there on the quiz space. Any other devotee who have done can raise hand. Otherwise, for those devotees who are facing issue, can raise hand so that on real-time basis we will resolve the same.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Anybody else have a issue, or we're all able to do? Harita Mataji is the one who had problems, so she registered, and Pankaj Prabhu also did it. Yeah, if any devotees have any issues, you can take a screenshot and share it in the WhatsApp group, and admins will be contacting Pradosh Prabhu for details. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I think it was very clear. Thank you for all the time. Prabhu is so busy person, but still he came. Thank you so much for your service. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, should we do day 0 quiz or otherwise we go to the class? No, I can stop sharing.
Yeah, I will go to the class, Prabhu. I think they will do it. That is just, they can manage.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Hope that was clear. And before I could stop, yeah. So what happens during heart transplantation is, what happened during heart transplantation is, just imagine my heart is weak. Now, I need a new heart. So someone who's brain dead or someone is just recently dead, that heart is taken. Now, that person already left. That soul actually left, and that heart is just an organ. That's just a organ made up of flesh or something. There's no soul in it, this organ. Now, inside my heart, there is my soul. Now, at that time of replacement, what happens? The soul from my heart just shifts either between the eyebrows or somewhere, some other place, somewhere here in the place. And then when the surgeons keep a new heart, the soul from that place come back and sit. Like, for example, I have a chair and my chair is broken. So the carpenter comes to repair it. So I get up and I go and sit in another chair. The carpenter comes and repairs my chair and he goes. And what happens? Once the chair is repaired, I come back and sit in my original seat. Similarly, the soul, at the time of heart transplantation, the soul just shifts to another place for temporary, and there are my soul, in the sense, not the person's whose heart is taken, it's my soul. And then again, when the heart is repaired and kept, a new heart is kept, the soul comes back and sit. That's it. Heart is just an organ where, or a place where the soul is resting. That's it. There's no two souls involved in heart transplantation. Okay, so that is very clear. And yeah. So I explained that, Sushmita Mataji. Thank you. And Harshali Mataji, before going to the video birth and death, I just like to teach some slokas, because Namanishya Prabhu got a lot of requests saying that devotees are joining the Gita course to learn slokas. I mean, that's right, actually, in one way. So you all can unmute yourself and can repeat after me. So I forgot to teach yesterday. So we'll have yesterday's important sloka and today's one sloka. One sloka per chapter is enough. Okay. Dhritarashtra Vaja. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Samaveta Mamaga Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. There is some rules in Sanskrit that if there is an you can see a dash above A, then you need to elongate and say Dhritarashtra Uvacha. So you can see A has a dash above, but this A doesn't have a dash. So Uvacha, in the sense A has to be elongated and said. Like here also, Mamaka, Mamaka. So A is coming there. Samaveta. Okay, so there is a dash above, you should have to elongate it. And ha, you have a dot down. Right? Ha, you can see Yuyutsava ha. So ha has a dot below. That means it is her. Okay, her. So that is to be done. Okay, now Dhritarashtra Uvaja once more.
Dhritarashtra Uvacha.
Dharma kshetre kurukshetre.
Dharma kshetre kurukshetre.
Samaveta yuyutsavaha.
Samaveta yuyutsavaha.
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva.
Mamaka
Pandavaschaiva.
Kim Akurvata Sanjaya.
Kim Akurvata Sanjaya.
Anybody likes to try? Someone like to try? Yeah. Yes, please. Okay, can you unmute? There's some sound.
Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Samaveta yuyutsavaha. Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva. Kim akurvatah Sanjaya.
Very good. Harita Mataji.
Dhritarashtra Vacha Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamakah Pandavaschaiva Kima Kurvata Sanjaya.
Very good. Ruchi Mataji.
Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsava Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kim Kurvat Sanjaya.
Very good. So, okay, others will get chance for the next sloka. Okay, so we have one more sloka. This is 1.1, first chapter, first sloka. You need to remember this. So, what is the meaning? Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya in Dharmakshetra, Gurukshetra, what is my sons and Pandu's sons do? Okay, now today's sloka, this is a very important sloka you need to memorize. Okay, you can all unmute. Dehinosmin yada dehe.
Dehinosmin yada dehe.
Kaumaram yauvanam jara.
Kaumaram yauvanam jara.
Tata dehantara praptir.
Tata dehantara praptir.
Dhiras tatra na muhyati. So actually, when there is an apostrophe in Sanskrit, it is asmin. Okay, a is silent here, but then when there is an apostrophe, it's a. So, but here they know asmin actually it is, but then we keep a silent here. But in other slokas, if dash is coming, you have to sound it as a. Okay, so dehinosmin yada dehe. Yeah, you can.
Dehinosmin yada dehe.
Kaumaram yavvanam jara.
Kaumaram yauvanam jara.
Tada dehantara praptir.
Tatha dehantara praptir.
Dhiras tatra na muhyati.
Dhirastatrana muhyati.
So just mugging up the slokas won't help. You should know the meaning. The dehinosmin yada dehe. The body is changing, but the soul doesn't change. From kaumaram yauvanam jara, from boyhood to youth to old age. Tada dehandar prapti. Similarly, the soul transmigrate from one body to another at the time of death. Dhirastatrana muhyati. An intelligent person is not bewildered by such a change. Okay. Yes. Yes, Kadambari Mataji. Can you chant?
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Dehino asmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantar praptira dhira satrani muhati. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Neelakshi Mataji.
Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehatara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati.
Very good. Chaitali Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantarar praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati. Hare Krishna.
Priyanka Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati.
Yes. Aishi, you want to try?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyate.
Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, so quickly I'll take some questions, 2 minutes. Then we'll see that video. Birth and death again. Very amazing video. You should definitely see it. I was so amazed to see that video. Like how birth is also a suffering. Okay, any questions? There should be a lot of questions today because there's a soul chapter. I hope you understood. Okay, so you understood about heart transplantation. We understood we are not this body, we are spirit soul. The another argument is that if we are not, if we didn't have punarjanma, if we think that we have only one life, then how is the karma coming back? No, because the karma is coming. You might see like good things happening to bad things happening to good people, and there might be good people around you, and some bad things are happening to them. Why? Now that person is so good to you and is so good in character, have done so much punya in this life, but so many bad things are happening to him, right? Why? Because of the sin he have done in his previous life. So definitely the karma is carried and the soul is getting transmigrated. We have gone through so many different types of species. Finally, we got a human form of life. So don't waste it. Don't waste this precious human form of life. We need to understand Shastra. We need to understand God. Try to go back to him. We have fallen from the spiritual sky and we are suffering in this material world. We need to go back. Okay. Yes, Harshali Mataji, you can